I don't even know what I'm supposed to be saying. So let's just do this.
Let's just get right into it.
So. Live from the new media studio here at beautiful Valley High School, this is Falcon Flash. And good morning, staff and students. Today is Tuesday, October 15th. Programming note real quick. We will be off tomorrow because of the PSAT and SAT. So this is our last broadcast for a couple of days. We'll be back on Thursday. You know, in the course of his short life, Richie Valens left a lasting impact on rock and roll with the classic rocker La Bamba. Sing it for us.
Para bailar la bamba,
There you go. See, you all know what we're talking about. It's a high-energy reworking of an old Mexican wedding song. It's driving simplicity, foreshadowed garage rock, frat rock, and punk rock. Ironically, La Bamba was the B-side of Donna, an ode to Valens' girlfriend that rose to number 2 on Billboard's singles chart. La Bamba also charted, peaking at number 22. This double-sided smash is one of the greatest rock and roll singles of the 50s. Valens was born Richard Stephen Valenzuela in the Los Angeles suburb of Pacoima. He grew up surrounded by Mexican music, but he also intently cocked an ear to Black R&B vocal groups. Valens learned how to play guitar and joined a local dance band, the Silhouettes, at age 16. In May of 1958, he auditioned for Delphi label owner Bob Keane, who spotted his raw talent. Let's find out what happened after that in this short bio.
At only 17 years old, Richie Valens became rock and roll's first Latino star.
Richie Valens opened the door for future Latino stars. He was a true pioneer of Chicano rock, and he influenced future groups like Carlos Santana, Los Lonely Boys, and Los Lobos.
Richard Valenzuela was born on May 13, 1941, in Pacoima, California. In 1958, he was discovered by the president of Delphi Records and was rebranded as Richie Valens.
It was probably necessary for him to get the attention of the radio. Radio was still pretty closed medium back in the late 50s, and they weren't going to play Richie Valenzuela. Most of the DJs couldn't even say it.
Valens' first single, Come On Let's Go, hit number 42 on the Billboard charts. But it was his second single, Donna, named for an old girlfriend, that wound up being his biggest success. The song hit number 2, then became famous again in 2001, after airing on the series That 70s Show.
I think Richie Valens' tune Donna was important in the early days of rock and roll, and probably still is today, because it was such a relatable song. It was the opposite of Come On, Let's Go, which was the rock and roll record. It was a balance because it was a slow, beautiful ballad.
On the B-side of Donna, Valens recorded the classic hit La Bamba, which would become his trademark. A top 25 hit in 1959, La Bamba made a comeback in 1987, when it was covered by Los Lobos for the Richie Valens biopic starring Lou Diamond Phillips.
Richie Valens made a true star out of Lou Diamond Phillips when he starred as Valens in the biopic La Bamba. This was a great platform where Phillips was able to showcase not only his acting skills, but his singing skills and his dancing skills.
On February 3rd, 1959, Richie Valens, Buddy Holly, and the well-known DJ The Big Bopper died in a tragic plane crash. The event was memorialized by singer Don McLean in the 1971 hit American Pie as The Day the Music Died.
I think Richie Valens had a huge impact on music, considering that he was only really in the music business for actually less than a year. It was something like 8 months, which was like crazy. But he had some wonderful records, and those records are everlasting. He was just, unfortunately, a shooting star.
All right, and that's your patriotic observance for today. Tomorrow, we take a break from our usual lessons to take on the SAT and PSAT during the school day. Here are a few tips to get you ready for success.
Oftentimes, people become really nervous when it's time to take a test. And so today, we're going to talk a little bit about how to take a test well. So the following are 9 great test-taking hints. You ready? Here we go. Make sure you get plenty of sleep and have a great meal. It's better to be alert and awake during an exam than to study all night and be groggy. If you keep up with your reading and your reviews, you won't need to pull an all-nighter. Proper nutrition plays an important part in your brain's ability to function. Second, you want to make sure that you bring everything that you need for the exam. Sometimes you'll need a number 2 pencil, you'll need an eraser, possibly a calculator. Make sure that you always ask beforehand. One of the major things you want to do is relax. At home before the test, take deep, slow breaths. Picture yourself in the testing session, relaxed and confident, and then go early so that way you can settle down. If you start to get nervous during the test, stop. Take a few breaths. Turn the test over, write down information that you do remember, and sometimes it helps you connect the information you know to the questions on the test. One of the main things you want to make sure you do is read the directions on the exam carefully. You don't want to miss something or do something that you're not supposed to do. You've probably heard this one before, but be sure that you read all the answers in multiple choice questions. Even if there is more than one correct sounding answer to the multiple choice question, one is always better than the rest. One of the things that I like to do is to read them all to make sure that I do pick the best one. Try covering up the choices while reading the question. If the answer you think is one of the choices, you're probably correct. If you're still unsure of the answer, start eliminating options that you know are wrong. Narrowing the choices to 2 or 3, that's going to greatly improve your odds of choosing the right answer. The 6th step is to make sure that you answer all of the questions on the test, unless you've been told otherwise. You want to make sure that even if you don't know the answer, that you have an opportunity to at least guess the right answer. And also, you don't want to misalign your answers for the next questions. Because if you do, you could end up with all your subsequent answers scored wrong. Here's a big one. Make sure that you read true-false questions carefully. All parts of the statement must be true, or else the entire statement is false. And watch out for absolutes such as never, always, and none. These often make a statement false. Whenever you have essay questions, make sure that you organize your thoughts before answering them. Think about the sequence in which to present what you want to say. Use complete sentences with correct grammar and punctuation, and explain or defend your answers. The 9th and final hint that I have for you today is to make sure that you go over the test at the end. Make sure you've answered all the questions, make sure you put your name on the exam, and that you followed all of the directions. Well, there you have it. 9 great test-taking hints. I hope you're able to internalize them and that they made sense. Good luck on your exam, and I'll see you for the next lesson.
All right, you will need to bring a calculator for the math portion of the SAT and the PSAT, which doesn't need to be some fancy graphing calculator like this one or a scientific calculator like this one. It could be a 4-function calculator like this one here. It doesn't matter. Just bring a calculator. All you need to do is be able to add, subtract, multiply, divide, basic math. And needless to say, your phone is not your calculator for tomorrow. You cannot, in fact, bring your phone out at all. We're going to put them in backpacks, turn them off, put them away. If we find your cell phone out, they will have to be searched. These are the SAT, PSAT rules to make sure that there aren't any pictures or text or anything else that might jeopardize test security. So plan to leave that phone turned off and in your backpack until the end of the exam session on Wednesday. Freshmen can check your testing location in your Falcon Flash classroom. Juniors and sophomores can find their rooms in their ELA classes, and seniors can find their rooms outside Building 21 tomorrow, and I'm about to post it in your Falcon Flash classroom as well. It's not there yet. Don't look, but it'll be there soon. So be on time for the test tomorrow. Get to those testing locations. We have pencils for you. You just bring a calculator. It's going to be a great day. Brian, take it away. Falcon Flash.
It will be a great day. birthday, Mr. Ozuma, and thank you, sir. Now, here's today's Falcon Flash. To start off, Cal Poly Pomona will have representatives here today at lunch. If you want to know a little bit more about this school, get to the Higher Ed Counseling Center for front of the line passes. Now, need to make up credits? Get enrolled in our after-school Apex online learning class. Stop by, see your counselor to sign up for an Apex course. Now, the computer lab in the counseling center will be open after school today and every Tuesday until 6 to provide assistance in college and financial aid applications. Class of 2020, this is all for you, so take advantage of it. Yesterday, we shared that Valley's volleyball team was a great help at the district's intramural sports event this past Saturday. We also want to acknowledge and thank the football team for their help as well in the concession stand and with the chain gang during the flag football games. Falcons rock. Missouri's second period class is taking the SAT and PSAT seriously and are seeing here busy preparing for it. Thank you to Miss Riz for sending us this picture. If you have tomorrow's picture of the day, send it to Mr. Ozuma for a chance to be featured on the Falcon Flash. Mr. Ozuma?
All right, that's our show for today. But before we go, let's take a moment to send out some birthday greetings. First, we'll take a look at the long list of names celebrating their birthdays today. We've got 3 seniors, 2 juniors, 3 sophomores, and 6. Count them up, here they come. There's 3 of them, and there's 3 more coming up. 6 freshmen today. It is a birthday kind of day here at Valley. Ooh. We're also going to wish these 3 Valley students a happy birthday tomorrow, since we won't be on the air on their actual birthday. So happy birthday to all of y'all that are up on the screen there. Speaking on screen, it looks like we're both back on screen.
Yes, sir. We're both back on. And that's it for today's Falcon Flash. And remember,
Falcon Fever. Catch it.